The next topic that we're going to work on is women and the governing body of the mosque. And three of the ladies who are on the board of members and various executive committee and governing body positions are going to speak. The first one is Dr. Arfa Khan. And let me give you a brief bio of Dr. Arfa Khan. She's a board member of the Islamic Center of Long Island. She's one of the founding members of ICLI and has served on the executive committee as treasurer and as vice president. She's been an active member of the fundraising committee for several years and was also a founding member of the award-winning interfaith program, American Muslims and Jews in Dialogue. Professionally, Dr. Khan is a professor of radiology at Albert Einstein College of Medicine and chief of thoracic radiology at the Long Island Jewish Hospital.
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm glad to see so many sisters and brothers still in this room at this late hour. I will start with 1979. And my daughter was in second grade. And she came home and she said, "Mom, do we celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah?" I said, "Why?" He said, "The teacher in the class asked, raise to your hands those children who, families who celebrate Christmas, and then those who celebrate Hanukkah." Eid was not mentioned. So at this time, my husband and myself, we thought we had to do something. And we got together with a group of other couples who had young children and decided to start a Sunday school. And this Sunday school was first, there were about like 6 families, and we started in our basement, and then our friend's basement, and another friend's basement. And then as the number grew, we moved to a storefront in Hampstead for a year. Then we didn't rent, we were given for free space from a church, then from a school. And finally, as the number of the members grew, in 1984, we bought this house in the back with this land. It had 1 acre land, and that was an advantage. And in 1985, we formed the first executive committee of the mosque. And we were all sitting, I remember, in the basement of the old house here, making bylaws. And it was a very small group, maybe 12 families. And nobody ever thought that the women should not be involved. We were husbands and wives sitting there with our children. And when we were making the bylaws, one of the brothers said, "Let's write in the bylaws that one of the members of the executive committee should be a woman." And the other brother said, "No, you don't have to write that, it's understood." So then the same brother said, "It's understood for us, but what about future generations? They have to know." And that's how it got into the bylaw. And I was the first female in the executive committee, the first executive committee. I was asked to be a treasurer, and I didn't know anything about it. So, I very quickly, I talked to some friends who did banking and started being a treasurer, keeping the checks, writing the checks and everything. Now, the thing I'm saying, I think in this mosque we are blessed that women play a very important role in the governance of the mosque. And ever since that year, 1985, we have elections every 2 years, and every time there is a woman in the executive committee. We have a lot of women on the board at the present time, and I think on the present executive committee we're going to have 2 women, inshallah. So I have very positive feelings about my work in this Islamic Center of Long Island. Now, as we have heard all morning about the role of women in Islam, the role of a Muslim woman is multiple. A Muslim woman plays a multiple role. She plays as a daughter, as a sister, as a wife, as a mother, as a teacher, as a professional, and also as a leader. And we have seen in the last few years that in 4 of the Muslim countries, the head of the state has been a woman, especially in Pakistan, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and what else? Okay, Turkey, yeah. And the thing is, and professionally, as Asmat said, I have also a very important role. I'm chief of thoracic radiology at Long Island Jewish Hospital, where I have worked for 35 years. And to fulfill all these roles which I mentioned, a Muslim woman has to be aware of the deen and what Quran says about these roles of the women. And she has to work very hard. It doesn't come easy. She has to be a diplomat. She has to be an active participant in the governance, whether it's mosque or workplace, and also dialogue with other members all the time. And she also have to have a lot of patience, sabr. So actually, I was also asked to give my experience, any negative experience I had governing as a executive member or board member in mosque, and I can proudly say, I can't think of any. And I hope in the other masjids they follow the example of this mosque. And the reason for that is that most of the members, both brothers and sisters, are well educated. They know about the deen of Islam, and they are very cooperative, and they are willing to listen to each other. Okay? So my advice for any younger generation who in the future want to govern in the governance of mosque is that men and women are equal as far as for taking leadership roles. But both of them have to work hard, they have to be honest, they have to follow the Islamic principles, and inshallah, I feel that it's not that far that we'll have a woman for the president in this mosque.